week 23 of the fantasy basketball season, and it's mostly the championship round for most fantasy owners. And here's a few forwards I looked at off the wire this week. The first forward, Grant Williams of the Charlotte Hornets. So Grant Williams, ever since he got traded from the Mavs, the playing time's gone up, and the production's gone up as well. And it's very surprising to me he's still out there in 74% of fantasy leagues on the year. 9.9 points a game, 4.1 rebounds, 2 assists, 1.6 threes, and 44% from the field. But the last few weeks, 11.7 points a game, 4.8 rebounds, 3.3 assists, 1.3 threes, and 48% from the field. So Williams, we know he's good with the three ball, a 3-and-D guy. He's been throughout his career, going back to his Boston Celtic days, where it was surprising they let him go in free agency this season in a signing trade. But then Mavs, they just didn't like his attitude and shipped him here to Charlotte. So March 27th versus Cleveland, 16 points, 7 boards, 5 assists, a steal, a block, 2 threes, 75% from the field. March 29th versus the Warriors, 12 points, 8 boards, 4 assists, 2 threes, 30% from the field. The March 31st versus the Clippers, 18 points, 5 boards, 5 assists, 2 threes, 80% from the field. So scoring, rebounding, and assist is what Grant Williams is going to bring fantasy owners. And he'll hit a 3.5 to 2 threes a game. And he's playing about 30 minutes a game right now for this Hornet team. Obviously, I know this Hornet team, they've been out of it for a while. They want to play the young guys and see what they're doing. But Grant Williams is a guy who's getting a pretty hefty contract, and he's going to get playing time. And he's played well for the Hornets, like I mentioned, since the trade of P.J. Washington to the Dallas Mavericks, and Williams coming back in the deal. So right now, while he's playing good basketball, and a guy can help you in many categories, he's definitely a good add this week. The next forward, Jaden McDaniels of the Minnesota Timberwolves. So McDaniels, he's out there right now, not in many fantasy leagues, but still 51% of leagues on the season for McDaniels. 10.8 points a game, 3.2 rebounds, 1.4 assists, 1.3 threes a game, and 49% from the field. But the last couple weeks, 14.7 points a game, 5 boards, 1.1 assists, a steal a game, 2 threes, 51% from the field. So with Karl-Anthony Towns, who's been out now over the last couple weeks, guys have had to step up and get more touches and more shot attempts, and that's exactly what McDaniels has done. March 27th versus Detroit, 20 points, 4 boards, 3 threes, 57% from the field. March 29th at Denver, 17 points, 3 rebounds, 3 assists, a steal, a 3, 70% from the field. And March 31st versus the Bulls, 8 points, 6 boards, 3 assists, a steal, a 3, 30% from the field. So McDaniels, he's playing about 35 minutes per game for this Minnesota Timberwolves team. And this Timberwolves team, they're right amongst the top teams, obviously, in the Western Conference, fighting for that second or even going for that first seed in the West. And McDaniels, he's playing good basketball, no doubt about it. And I know last game, it was a down game for him. But like I said, Anthony Towns out. They need some more guys to step up and score the basketball. McDaniels, he's definitely done that over the last few games here. And right now, he's available in 51% of leagues, like I mentioned. And he's another player that's got 4 games coming up this week. The next said, Haywood Highsmith of the Miami Heat. So this Heat team, every season, guys come out of nowhere and they play a nice role. I know the Heat have had some injuries. Robinson, he was out for a few games. He just returned. Hotskes, he's been in and out of the lineup over the last few games here. And Highsmith, he's been playing and making the most of his opportunities. So right now, Highsmith, he's available in 90% of fantasy leagues. On the year, 6 points a game, 2.8 rebounds, and assists, 1.2 threes, and 45% from the field. But the last couple weeks, 10.9 points a game, 4.4 boards, 1.4 assists, 2.4 threes, and 59% from the field. So Highsmith, he's playing solid minutes, 30 minutes a game over the last week and a half for this Miami Heat team. And he's made the most of it. March 26th versus Golden State, 15 points, 6 boards, 2 assists, 2 steals, 3 threes, 85% from the field. March 29th versus Portland, 20 points, 6 boards, an assist, a steal, 5 threes, 77% from the field. And March 31st at the Wizards, 10 points, 4 boards, a block, 2 threes, 33% from the field. So right now, he's getting good playing time, like I said, about 30 minutes a game. This Miami Heat team, they're trying to move up now to get out of the playing game and get a playoff spot where they don't have to worry about the play-in like they did last season, even though they made the NBA Finals. But anyway, guys like Highsmith, every season it seems like for Miami, come out of nowhere and are good contributors to this team. So right now, while he's getting good playing time and he's a 3 or 4 category type of player, he's a good add this week. And like I said, available in 90% of fantasy league. Next forward is Taylor Hendricks of the Utah Jazz. So Taylor Hendricks, it's been an up and down rookie season for him on the year. 6.9 points a game, 4.7 rebounds, 1.2 threes, and 43% from the field. But the last couple weeks, playing time's gone up, and the shot attempts have gone up a bit. 9.5 points a game, 5.5 rebounds, 1.1 blocks, 1.9 threes, and 45% from the field. So Hendricks, he's playing about 30 minutes a game for this Utah Jazz team, and he's playing good basketball where he's not going to be putting up huge numbers out of the box score, but he's still putting up numbers that could be serviceable in 12-team leagues or deeper. March 27th versus the Spurs, 8 points, 8 boards and assists, 2 steals, a block, 2 threes, 37% from the field. March 29th versus the Rockets, 8 points, 9 boards, 2 assists, 2 blocks, 2 threes, 42% from the field. And March 31st at the Kings, a big game, 18 points, 3 boards and assists, 4 threes, 54% from the field. So rebounding, 3-point shooting, he's been pretty solid as Hendricks. And shot blocking, he's going to give fantasy owners. And right now, well, he's out there in a bunch of fantasy leagues at 83%. That can help in a big way, even though I know it's only 3 games he's playing this week. He's definitely going to add this week in the 5th and final forward. I look to add off the wire this week. Georgie Zhang of the Cleveland Cavaliers. So he's been on this list a few times this season, is Zhang. And we know he's a 3-point specialist, and that's pretty much what he's going to give fantasy owners. And right now, he's available in tons of fantasy leagues at 85%. So on the season for Zhang, 9.6 points a game, 3.5 rebounds, 1.2 assists, 2 threes, and 45% from the field. But the last couple weeks, 13.4 points a game, 2.6 rebounds and assists, 2.9 threes, and 51% from the field. The only thing here for Zhang, I think, that his playing time is going to go down a little bit, obviously, since Max Strus returned to the lineup, even though he's still up there about 25 minutes per game. March 27th at the Hornets, 14 points, a rebound, 4 threes, 71% from the field. March 29th versus the Sixers, 25 points, a block, 5 threes, 71% from the field. And March 31st, he had an off game at Denver, blown out and lost by 29 in that one. 4 points, 5 boards, 2 assists, a steal, 25% from the field. So right now, if you need 3-point shooting, that's pretty much all he's going to give fantasy owners, with the occasional decent rebound game is Zhang. But like I said, you can never have enough 3-point shooting, especially in head-to-head leagues. A guy could come in, get you 3-4 threes per game, which obviously is a nice number. And that's what he's going to bring fantasy owners if you need him, as long as he's playing that 25, 30 minutes per game mark. So that's a few forwards I looked at off the wire in the championship week in most leagues for week 23 of the fantasy basketball season.